my name is Radek Spitz and I'm working on the product marketing. Let me briefly start with the history of Skoda. The history of the Skoda Motorsport is very long and full of the success. I would like to firstly point it out 1930s when the Skoda won the Monte Carlo Rally with the Skoda Popular. The next milestone was the 1962 when the victory was repeated by the Skoda Octavia Touring Sport. The Touring Sport was the first racing model of the Octavia. From the 1974 was the RS badge used to mark the racing specials of the Skoda brand. It was already mentioned in the main presentation actually, but for the example it was used on the Skoda 180 RS and Skoda 130 RS Rally. In the modern history it was the year 2000 when the first generation was produced. It started the success tradition which continues throughout the generations until now. As a proof of the success, it might serve the overview of the sales. As you can see, in the case of the third generation of Octavia RS, the sales are 10 times more higher than in case of the first generation. The most popular specification of the third generation of RS is with the diesel engine, automatic gearbox and front-wheel drive. There you can see the top 5 countries with the highest share of the Octavia RS on the total sales of Octavia in 2019. Based on the numbers, you can figure out that in Germany and Switzerland it was every 6th Octavia was Octavia RS. In case of the United Kingdom and Austria, it was every 10th Octavia. To be able to continue in the success story, we need to identify the target customer and his or her demands and expectations. The reasons to buy the new Octavia RS are mainly power, performance, exterior design, and last but not least, value for money. We should not forget on our competitors. The competition in this segment is very strong. Here you can see the main competitors, and the key ones are Hyundai i30N, Ford Focus ST, and Kia Ceed GT. That was all from my side. I would like to thank you for your attention, and now I will pass the word to my colleague Adam.
Thank you, Radku. When you see new Octavia RS, you can definitely tell from the first glimpse that it's different from the standard one, as it gets a new RS designed bumper, including the black grille with RS logo. The rear mirror covers are also black, and we decided to give new RS this black package based on the experience from the previous generation. We had both chrome and black variant, and the vast majority of customers wanted a black styling, so we decided to make the new Octavia always with this package. The fog lights, which are LED, are also specific to the RS, and of course the design is even stressed by the specific RS wheels, which are either 18-inch or 19-inch size. The new wheels have also been optimized in terms of the aerodynamics, so they have a better values of the drag coefficient, and they contribute to better fuel economy of the car. From the rear side, it's easy to spot the specific RS bumper with this known white reflection bar, which comes in a similar way from the previous Octavia RS, and it can also be seen in case of the Kodiaq RS. Octavia RS also gets 2 visible steel end pipes, black lettering, so it means black Skoda description and the logos, and the spoiler, which is also black. And it's not just the design thing, but it has some real contribution in terms of driving stability and the downforce. Looking into interior, it's easy to spot a new steering wheel. The steering wheel is 3-spoke compared to the standard Octavia. It has a perforated leather and RS logo. A unique feature we brought to the new RS is the Alcantara dashboard cover with a contrast stitching, and also the Alcantara door panels. No other Octavia has this feature, so it's unique to RS. RS always gets also the RS specific graphics, and it's also always digital. You also get the stainless steel pedals and footrest. And if we see the dashboard in detail, RS always has 10-inch infotainment with specific RS HMI or the RS design. The dashboard decor is also specific with RS carbon-like design, and it's underlined by the ambient lighting. Of course, for RS you get always the sporty seats. The basic one, the fabric, as you might have seen here in the car shown, are also can be changed to the optional version, which is Alcantara and leather. These seats are also ergonomic. What does it mean? They have this adjustable seat length, and they have a massage function in the back footrest. So this is from what you can see in RS with your own eyes. Now we have some more interesting features under the bonnet. When we talk about the technology, we definitely need to start with the engines. For the first time in history, we have 3 different concepts for the new RS. The first one is petrol, a new evolution of the 2-liter TSI engine with 180 kilowatts. Then a new Evo diesel. You have already heard in the previous presentation about the new Evo diesels. So this is the top version of them. It has 147 kilowatts and 400 Newton meters. And for the first time in history of RS, we have the plug-in hybrid. It has system output of 180 kilowatts and 400 Newton meters. In addition to that, RS gets also the performance brakes. They have front disc in size 340 millimeters and the rear is 310 millimeters. Every RS has a sport suspension. It means you always get the multi-link rear axle and specific dampers and springs. These are with RS characteristics and fit to every variant based on the weight of the car and the power. For the TDI and TSI, we have a lower ride height by 15 millimeters, and for every version you can get the optional DCC suspension, which has the electronically controlled adaptive dampers. Every RS also gets the progressive steering and the limited slip differential, which is offered. It's not for every RS, it's for the 2-liter TSI with the front-wheel drive. So about these 2 features I would like to talk a little bit more in detail. So if we start with the limited slip differential, it's internally we call it VAQ, it's Vorderachsquersperre, probably doesn't need any translation for you. It's based on the 6th generation of electro-hydraulic multi-plate clutch, which using the integrated control unit allows us to link the planetary gear with the differential cage and do the predictive torque management on the front wheels. So with this we can prevent the traction problems which would normally occur with the open differential. Some of these examples, when cornering, going through the corner in a fast way, it can happen that you can the inner wheel loses the traction because of the weight distribution. So this device is able to steer the torque on the outer wheel, which has better traction and helps to drive efficiently through the corner. The second case could be that when you're driving on slippery surface with lower adhesion, if one wheel, let's say it's this one, starts to lose traction, you are still able to accelerate because the differential puts the torque on the second wheel with better traction. This device, compared to the known system XDS Plus, which uses brakes in order to simulate this function, this device is more robust. It's more suitable for the sports driving, and it has also much better performance. It can bear up to 1,600 Newton meters compared to 500 Newton meters of the XDS Plus. It has 2 driving modes, which you select in your car based on the driving mode. It's normal and the sport. In sport, the function of the differential is more visible. You can feel it better. And as I said, it has a predictive function as well. So in situations where you still not lose the traction, but you might, the differential can be active even before some problems occur. The progressive steering. This is a function or equipment which gets every new Octavia RS, and compared to the standard one, it's different in two ways. It has a lower steering ratio, so it means that you have only 2.1 turns from one attempt to another, compared to 2.7 in case of the standard steering, and it has a progressive gearing ratio. This is illustrated here. What does it mean? When you drive in direct way, for example on highway, the steering ratio is very comparable to the standard steering. It provides the car to feel relatively stable. It doesn't react too fast on little changes in the steering wheel. But as soon as you start cornering, then the progression is much more significant, and the car responds better to your orders through the steering wheel. So it comes handy when you're driving in a sporty way either, or just when you maneuver in the city and you need to do the cornering. It's easy with this steering. A very new feature I would like to introduce you with the new Octavia RS is the central airbag. Octavia will be the first Skoda to introduce this new safety equipment. And what does it actually is? The central airbag is a new airbag which is hidden in the right side of the driver's seat, and it opens to protect customers in case of the side crash, either far or near side, where it can happen that the passengers get injured by each other, by hitting each other, either by head or their body. And when we get this center airbag in the middle of them, we can protect them from these kind of injuries. So we decided to offer this equipment to every new Octavia Scout and RS as a standard equipment. So in total you can get up to 10 airbags now. For the remaining Octavias, we will offer this equipment as an optional, and it will be available at the end of this year. So I'm almost at the end of my presentation. To sum it up, the most important facts: the new RS will come with 5 different powertrain options. 2 of them are petrol, 2 are diesel, and the new is the plug-in hybrid. All of these engines are either new or significantly reworked in order to provide even better driving experience and also fuel economy, inclusive reduced CO2. And the production of the car will start this year in September. A few weeks later, we will add the diesel version and the petrol with manual transmission.